Hey, I'm Tip B, and I'm the host of Almost an Athlete. Join me for a behind-the-scenes look at some incredible athletes. In this podcast, we will connect with athletes from around the world to learn who they really are through their passion, purpose, and tribe. Hi, my name is Tip B, and I'm the host for Almost an Athlete. With me, I have Sonny with my wicked dude.
Yep.
What's up, Sonny?
How's it going?
So with us, we have two members of the championship CrossFit Games Team Mayhem Freedom, Andrea Nisler, 8 times CrossFit Games athlete, and Taylor Williamson, 6 times CrossFit Games athlete. So thanks for joining us today. It's been a pleasure hosting you guys both here in Colorado, and hopefully you guys have had a swell time. So what do you guys think of the trip so far?
It's been really fun. We've been very busy. So I think we've utilized our time here very well. We got to see a lot of the hot spots. We went skiing. Taylor learned how to ski for the first time. So
yeah, it's been a blast.
Yeah, we got a lot fit in a few days.
I think Taylor's like an expert skier now.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
she almost went to the blues.
She had a couple of baby jumps too. Impressive.
I heard. Yeah, like first time, and you're just like jumping.
Doing flips. And,
360s, 720s.
For sure.
At least turning. So
yeah.
That's good.
Was it pizzas
really
and French fries, right? For like skiing?
Yeah.
I don't think you taught me a French fry.
Yeah, I did.
Maybe you didn't make it that far.
So. I mean, yeah, just that. We did the magic carpet, you know?
We did the magic carpet, yeah.
Yeah, and you guys crushed the incline yesterday, I heard. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Was that timed?
We didn't really time it, but yeah, so basically the incline, I didn't know about it before, so it was like, 2,700 some stairs up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It was like basically a 2,000 foot increase, I guess, in altitude. It was challenging.
Yeah, it was just like 45 minutes of the stair stepper.
Yeah.
Like sketchy stair stepper.
Hands
with no oxygen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm literally on my hands and my knees, like, at some parts of it, especially with my short legs. I
saw a lot of that, actually. Yeah.
So, I mean, I think it's very interesting yesterday, the workout you guys did. I mean, it was a set of 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s, and 10, and you guys decided to double up and do the workout. So what made you decide to, like, double up?
We just thought we'd hop in on the class workout, what was programmed, but we just wanted to double it, so we'd each do it, I guess, individually, but just together.
Yeah, we kind of took the day before that off, so maybe we were both feeling a little panicky and wanted to
some
work
fitness.
out more. I don't know.
I don't think we anticipated that it would take as long as it did, though, either.
I 100% thought it would be shorter.
Yeah. The altitude is challenging.
So it's your first workout at altitude?
I've done a couple before, but it's been a couple years.
Yeah. It's nothing we're used to.
No. Oh, no.
We both live at like 590 feet above sea level. So.
Yeah, I think we're sitting, 6,500, 7,000 base here in the spring. So, no, I was saying I am thoroughly impressed. Like, you guys flew in next day, went skiing, snowboarding. Like, we hit up some blacks. We tried to hike up that terrain.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and we were just like, we're just going to drop it in right there. And then you guys did a workout and then the incline yesterday. So, I mean, how are you guys feeling today after your workout? Do you feel like you've acclimatized?
No, definitely not.
No.
It usually takes people like a month to get to that point.
No, Sonny said he adapted, though, in 24 hours. So.
I did.
Yeah, he was like, you guys will be fine by one day. And we're like, really?
Well, because I had to do like an ultra marathon race with a buddy. So I did like 60 miles of that. But yeah, I'll see about a week. Not a day, a week.
A week sounds more reasonable.
Yeah. So, it wasn't really, it's not even like the volume of working out, because we're really not doing like a lot compared to what we would be at home, but it just feels that much harder each time.
Everything feels so taxing.
Yeah.
Like lifting feels like cardio.
I bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get dizzy just tying my shoes. So it's just like trying to like stay sane, I guess, and not like dizzy.
Do you feel like if you and your team did more workouts at altitude, you have an advantage at a game? I mean, a lot of Olympians come here to train before they.
I know there's
head
some
out.
science behind that, just because the red blood cell changes that occur. So, I mean, potentially,
Sure. I just don't know how long that would take.
Yeah.
I think you would actually see like a significant difference.
That is maintained then when you go back, Like, how long does it stay that way? Probably not more than a couple weeks, I'd say.
So there's a study, I think, about a lot of, I think Army, just the military in general, when they recruit, special operations type guys, a lot of guys from the mountain areas tend to pass selection over a lot of people at sea level.
Yeah.
So, you're right. There's a little bit of science behind it. So you can try it with your team and see if you crush it.
Basically, like legal blood doping, more or less. I mean,
yeah.
You just get more red blood cells just from the climate. So,
CrossFit in general, it's definitely changed over the years. I was watching videos of the first games, and it was just kind of like a cowboy Wild West, wear whatever you want to the games, and now they actually have like uniforms that you wear with your numbers, and it's really, really changed. So how do you guys do you prefer like the old school or the new school? Like, what are your thoughts on that?
I definitely think the sport has grown a lot. I mean, both just like what people are able to do and just from the sponsorship side, the competitive, field. It's more of a professional sport now than it was in 2010 when it started. So, yeah.
Yeah, honestly, today, so the gym we worked out at this morning had the 2010 games on. I had never seen that footage before. I didn't know how raw it was in the beginning.
Yeah.
That was wild. So I guess I didn't realize too, just how much it's grown, how much better the competitors have become. I mean, back then it was obviously just they did it for fun. They had full-time jobs and then went and trained, I'm sure, after work. But now people are making it their life. They're starting in high school versus
dropping
starting
out of school to train, or like homeschooling to train. You're seeing a lot more of that.
The amount of teenagers that you're seeing now that are just so good is astounding. Like,
I'm really interested to see how that turns out for those teens, like long term, like burnout rates, or, I mean, I don't know. It's uncharted territory, right? Like, we don't know. And I think like both of us agree, like the value of like high school sports and like camaraderie in that sense. So it's just a little bit different. We'll see how the sport develops around them.
Do you remember your first day in CrossFit? Like that very first day, what that day looked like, whether it was sunny, raining, snowing?
I don't remember what the day looked like, but I do remember it. It was in one of my friend's garages back in my hometown, because there wasn't an affiliate there at the time. And I was just confused, like, well, how fast am I supposed to run? And she's like, well, just do it as fast as you can. And I was a track athlete at the time. I'm like, well, what's the pace supposed to be?
Right.
Like, it was just a change of perspective, I guess. But I was pretty addicted right away. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, because it was entertaining. It wasn't boring. It changed all the time. So
would you say is it entertaining as skiing or not close?
different, very different, I would say. Skiing's fun. Yeah.
That just means you have to come back again next season.
I definitely want to.
Good.
I really want to.
You got to do the blacks with us.
Maybe not. I got to practice between now and then.
Would definitely be glad to have you back though.
That'd be a blast.
Mm-hmm. Andrea, how about you? You remember your first day?
Yeah, so I'm sitting here kind of zoning out, trying to think. I don't remember at all. I started like maybe after college, like that summer I graduated. So this would have been like 2012. I'm really old. But I don't remember like starting for some reason. I remember I didn't love it at first though. So like I kind of got like pushed into it. They're like, yeah, just try it. And I was like, nah, group fitness, not for me. That's stupid. And then I remember I was still trying to balance it. Like I used to just love going for long, slow runs. Okay. So I would still like mix those in. And then like eventually somehow it just blended into me not doing that anymore. But I think it took a few years. Okay. And then I don't know. I know I started in Iowa, but I can't really remember like the first day or the first week or even like, I remember learning rope climbs one day. I would go before work. Right. So I'd go at like the 6 a.m. class and there were rope climbs and I didn't know what that was. So I tried it that morning, failed. I went to work, probably crying. I was frustrated. And I remember just watching YouTube videos all day on how to climb a rope. I went over my lunch period to buy some pants because I heard that was easier. And then I went back after work to do the workout again. And then I got the rope climbs. So that was maybe like my memorable, like, ooh, I like this.
Because you said when you started, you weren't sure if this was for you. So when did that switch to?
I think it was that like learning some like a high skill movement that like wasn't easy for most people to do. Where I felt like, oh, like maybe I can be better at this type of thing.
What was the trigger point to where you were like, you got into competing to doing it competitively? Because from the sounds of it, this was something that you guys just kind of got into. It became a passion. And then when was that moment when you guys were like, all right, like I'm going all in and I'm going to compete?
I think I did my first local comp like pretty shortly into starting, honestly, just because I kind of got thrown into it and sounded like fun. And I liked the competition side of it right off the bat. I was very bad at it. Like I couldn't do pull-ups and, so I was like very average, I'd say right initially. I was also in college volleyball at the time. So I was like busy with that most of the year, but summer, winter, I would go back home or like stay in Kansas City or whatever. And I would be training CrossFit because that's kind of what I like to do with my spare time. So I think just seeing like the gains that I would make in the short, 8 weeks or whatever, that's what kind of like threw me into it. Like, I think I could get pretty decent at this if I like tried and really kind of threw myself at it. So that's kind of what I guess my initial like entry into the competition side of it looked like.
0 to 100.
Yeah.
What about you, Andrea?
Yeah, so I also signed up for a local comp, like right off the bat. I did scaled.
Yeah.
I literally got dead last in that competition. Like they had like toes to bar in it and double unders, and I couldn't do either of those things. Ring dips, like those are still very hard.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I got dead last, and I was just like really sad. So I went back and I like trained really hard because like, no, I was not going to get dead last in a scaled comp again. And then the next one I did, so this gym asked me to be part of the team. So this is how I got into team. So this was 2014. I didn't even know what that was or that they had that even. I just said yes. And then they kind of forced me to train smarter and more often. So I guess that kind of just catapulted me into that. I don't know. Yeah. But it was very motivating to just literally go and get dead last in something. Like want to be better.
Fast forward to now and you guys have like conquered the games the past 2 years. Like tell us your experience on how that felt both in 21 and last year.
I don't know. It was,
winning's fun.
Yeah, very satisfying. Also like kind of addicting,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the last 2 years were great. The year before that, it ended up getting canceled because of COVID. And we all know that happened. But we had a team that we think would have beat Mayhem. Not think, it would have. So that was going to be like super exciting. We were all jacked up, for it. Like we were training hard. Like we were going to beat Mayhem that year. And then it got canceled. Obviously we were sad. Mm-hmm. So we just joined Mayhem. At that point, like that team wasn't going to be together anymore. And they changed the rules up. So, it was hard the first year, honestly, to like join a team we'd been against for so many years and like wanted to beat for so many years. So you kind of had to like take your pride, swallow it a little bit, and then like realize that was, I don't know. It's kind of, if you want to win, that's what you.
But our teammates honestly made it easy because they were good teammates. They were fun to be around. And so that was the blessing there. Cause we had this like, not hatred, but hatred for Mayhem for so long. And it's like, well, now we are them, but we liked them. So it was easy in that regard.
And that's like, everyone on teams is really nice. So like you want to not be friendly with them because there's obviously a serious competitive edge if you're not like feeling like you like the people, so you want to try to not hate. That's a very strong word.
You want to try to like your competition while you're competing with them.
Yep, like, you want to like not like them.
Yeah.
So
afterwards, sure, but not during.
Yeah.
Not during the season. I have to find something to not like about you.
You have to feel the motivation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taylor, you were telling us your interesting stories about your competition in Mexico.
Oh yeah, those are. I've done 2 comps in Mexico. It's really cool to like have these out of country opportunities. We've been to Dubai a couple times. Yeah, it's really cool to be able to do that and like work out in all these different environments with all these different sorts of people and cultures. And it's not everyone has that opportunity, right? It's really like cool to be able to use your fitness in that way.
How many hours do you guys train normally, typically, average?
Like a day?
Yeah.
Anywhere from like 5 to 7, I would say.
Yeah, it's really hard to quantify because you're not actually just working out that whole time either. I mean, you need
setting up, you're warming up, you're doing rehab stuff.
And then if you like really redline, you need some time to obviously recover.
Yeah.
And then a lot of days are just really long cardio. So you are putting in like an hour and a half of that
At a time. Yeah. Both of us are constantly working really hard to be better at running because that's like one of our general weaknesses. Or even just like high school gymnastics stuff, there's still a lot of like room to improve there. So there's always something to focus on.
But you can't focus too much just on the running because then you get weak because you're not lifting. So it's like,
There's a give and take. So it's always, there's always something different to kind of focus on, and you never really get bored of it.
And you never want to be the best at one thing.
That's a red flag.
Because, if you knock it out of the park every time on the same thing, you messed up your training.
Yeah.
How do you balance life around that? Because, that's a significant amount of hours.
Challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, because you graduated from PA school recently. And like, how do you balance that with
Would not recommend. It was not a good idea.
But you did it.
I did, yeah. Honestly, it took a lot of help. So my husband helped a lot with just like having food ready and, just small things or like groceries or just things that take up time in your day that you don't realize. So it's just about having a really, really strict plan and being able to do it for that 6 months or 8 months or whatever it is. It's not sustainable, but you can get it done.
You guys have 2 new team members. How does that switch up your routine to, in training for this season?
Thankfully, one of our team members has a lot of team experience. So he has been around the block a ton of times, is really good at synchro stuff, really good at worm stuff, like all the traditional stuff you would see in the CrossFit team space. The other one's a longtime individual athlete. So he has a lot of base fitness and can obviously do all the movements really, really well. He just has to learn how to do it in a team capacity. So that's kind of been the focus of at least the last month or so. And all of our team training has been kind of getting Tim up to speed and teaching him some stuff. But it's coming along really well, really quickly.
Yeah, and he wants to learn, and that's very, like, he's very open and perceptive to everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim's fun.
I think to make a good team, you all have to be really individually very fit and very capable and working on like your own holes, but then you also need to be able to put that together in either pairs or even, teams of 3 stuff, or like one person might be doing a hold. You just never really know. You have to figure out how to mesh that into a team atmosphere.
Right. Being part of a team, you still need to train a lot individually. I feel like a lot of teams, that's maybe where they kind of forget about it. They do so much team training that they're not realizing like you all still need to be very fit. So still like working, like Taylor said, on your own weaknesses. And then as the season starts to progress, you add more stuff in together. But like right now isn't like a huge team time per se.
Yeah.
So I think we're on track.
Oh, definitely.
Good.
Yeah.
Does it make it harder once it gets to that point? Because you guys are geographically separated. You're in Minneapolis and you're over in Tennessee. But, how does that work? Do you have to just like completely block off time to just go and train together?
Pretty much block off from now until August.
You guys have been at the games for 8 years on your side and 6 in yours.
I think so. Yeah.
Has your core system changed over the years, or has it been pretty constant? Like friends, family, fans? I mean,
both. Yeah. There are definitely constants, but there's definitely change too, especially as you kind of change teams, change communities. So, but you definitely still have your core group of people, like both of our sets of parents. They all come to our competitions, and our husbands, and
my parents have grown to really love CrossFit, which has helped.
Same.
In the beginning, they kind of they didn't actually come watch in the beginning as much, just because I don't think they really understand. I didn't even understand what I was doing at the time, but over the years they've come to everything after that, and they love it. So that's fun.
Yeah, mine too. My mom likes to make my mom likes to make fat heads of us.
Yeah,
she's that mom. So.
I'm guessing this is your last games. Is it just for you or for Taylor as well, or?
I mean, I might take like a year off for sure. Like it'll be year 10, so it's just like I don't know. I'll be a master's next year as well. So. And then Taylor's going to start work possibly. So
yeah, I'm planning for this probably to be my last games.
Okay.
But I think I've been saying that for like 3 years now. So you just never really know. You can't plan your life too extensively. Life happens. But
I'm not sure. Like I say, I don't know about masters now, but I don't know. Maybe if the Open comes around next year and I'm not super out of shape, I don't know.
That's fair. But if it is your last, like, you know, how would you want to go out?
Oh, winning.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, obviously, but like,
definitely going out on top. That's the plan. Yeah, no other.
Okay, I'll say this: if I don't win, I'll go do the games again.
okay, all right. CrossFit has been your purpose for like the last 10 years. So what's the next one going to be?
I don't know. I'm going to be honest. It's going to be hard for a while. So like, I'm sure a few months after, even like refocusing and like realizing you don't need to train a lot, like it's going to be very hard. So like, I'm picturing like a 6-month like learning curve of like learning to just like live.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest, like the way you train and do this, it's
kind of has to be something that's always on your mind.
Yeah.
Like you kind of form the rest of your day around like what your training needs to look like. And I think that's one of the big differences between like CrossFit as a sport and CrossFit for health, because you kind of, it's not really like super healthy to live this way. It's not balanced. It's not well-rounded, but it's kind of what it takes to win or to be good, to qualify for the games. Even like you have to be like unbalanced.
It's
in that
a little
manner.
mentally unstable.
For some, it can be.
Like you got to have that edge. And
And you decide to, you know, leave this chapter of your life and on to the next, just refocus on animals.
Yeah, I mean, I've already gotten Taylor into fostering dogs now.
Yeah.
So,
I did see that.
Yeah.
I've been fostering for a bit. Got Taylor into it. I'm starting to get some other friends into it too. Honestly, and I noticed I've been planning a few events for my gym, and they're all focused now around like dog rescue. So I think that's the direction I'm going with things. So yeah.
do you see yourselves being like mentors? I mean, to the next generation of athletes, like full on or part time or very involved?
Yeah, I guess I can take this one first. So I still own a gym, and I'll continue to own a gym even after I'm done competing. So I would love to still be in the space in that way. I think I do have stuff that I could offer the new generation coming in, just, you know, like how to mentally even stay like into it, you know. And just on the mental side of things, there's a lot too. Like when you make it your life, it becomes very taxing in that way. So it's just like figuring out like when you can kind of step back and enjoy your life, and when it's time to like buckle up and train more.
Yeah.
So yes, I personally would love if anyone was willing to let me be their mentor to do that. It'll be a fun ride.
I think I personally have more interest in like the health and wellness side of it than the like athletic side of it. I think the longevity piece and just what CrossFit or cross training or whatever you want to call it, what that can do to help people live better, stronger lives, you know, not to age better, I guess, especially being a PA and looking to start work sometime this year as a PA. I think there's so much opportunity there to help people. And I think just coming from my background and as a games athlete, or just even just doing CrossFit for so long, that's like a unique skill set. So I don't think I have as much interest in, although I would definitely mentor like young athletes, want to be involved in the sport, but I have more interest in helping people to get off medications and just live healthier lives.
I think that's a huge misconception with CrossFit is people think it's just go, 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 like high impact training nonstop, but people forget about the mobility and the maintenance and like the importance of, you know, stretching and the amount of hours that it goes to prepare for that, because, you know, that's important in the longevity of your body. So it's really cool that you have that background. And I think, you know, on both sides of that mentorship, like in the gym and outside of the gym, and understanding the anatomy of the body is crucial. So that's awesome.
What would be your one-liner of advice to give to CrossFitters in general, whether you're looking to compete or you're just doing it for fitness or whatever? Like,
You go first.
Okay, I got one. It's everything's impossible until somebody does it.
Oh my God. It's so basic.
that's fair. That's
It's literally on the sign right there. She took it from that sign on the room. I hate you.
There's a bat.
There's another one for you.
Mine
Go for
is
it.
everything begins with a hero. Some real advice. Just find something that's sustainable. Like find something you enjoy and that's sustainable. Don't burn yourself out in the first year trying to compete really, really hard and then like never show up to the gym again. That would be,
Yeah.
that's not one line, but that would be my advice, I think. Okay. Yeah.
My advice would also just be it's not going to be comfortable.
Yeah.
So reaching out to Taylor to do this, it was kind of like I'm gonna slide in a DM to see if she's gonna
Professionally.
professionally, let's go with that, to see if this would be a thing. And almost a year later,
Yeah. Close to.
here we are, just having you guys here. It's been honestly a pleasure flying you guys, seeing you guys skiing, having a good time. Sending it yesterday with the workout, incline, whooping my ass at that one. And just getting to know you guys more and learn about your career and what's next for you. It's honestly been a pleasure. Thank you so much.